your story to go with the cover.
Your swimwear cover?
Next on Glitter.
Don't you think that would do wonders for your circulation? You practically accused me of stealing your wretched designs.
This was taken just before she ran away.
Flying Christy Hansen. That's your story.
You know, I have the feeling that something happened to her before she came here.
Now, Daddy, if you just listen to me!
I said you're coming home with me.
No!
Managing editor.
Oh, Mr. Hardwood's upstairs in the staff meeting right now. Excuse me, sir. Do you have an appointment?
Clive, you'll be glad to know that our swimsuit issue will be coming up again. Top firms from around the country will be vying for our cover. Now, Terry and Earl, as you know, there's more to a bathing suit than meets the eye. I'd like a feature on the making and marketing of this season's suits. You might do well to start with Allison Maitland and her sister Diana Seaver. Their designs are bold and trend-setting.
No kidding. Some trend, huh?
And the competition between these two sisters' companies is fierce.
Charles Hardwick?
Yes?
My daughter, Christy. I found her picture in your magazine. I haven't seen her since she ran away.
Would you like to sit down and tell me about it?
I'm sorry about this, but I'm desperate. When I saw this picture, I dropped everything and drove straight through.
May I see it?
Yeah. This is Christy. She's somewhere in Los Angeles, and I've got to find her. The Club 500. Your magazine says it's a hangout for call girls. Here. This was taken just before she ran away, about 8 months ago. She was 17, sweet and innocent.
Sam, Kate, this was your article.
This is the only lead I have. I'm really afraid for what may have become of her.
Flying Christy Hansen, that's your story.
The picture of Christy Hansen was taken in here in a private room upstairs. Now, I know what you're worried about, an underage kid or a drugstore that's going to shut you down. But let me tell you something. What you should be worried about is him. He's exactly the kind of victim that everybody roots for. You know, the sincere father searching for his daughter lost in the flesh pots of Sunset Strip. Now, I don't write that kind of story, but if you don't give me something, you're going to have to deal with him. And eventually, somebody's going to print his story the way he sees it, you know?
Okay, Sam. But I'm not sure I can help.
There.
She's not a regular. She's in a lot with a girl named Roxanne. Roxy's a working girl, you know? They do some of the Bel Air parties, hang out around the Strip. I've seen them down in Santa Monica sometimes. That's all I got, Sam.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Is such an innovative touch.
That's discerning. This isn't exactly my first collection, you know.
Your seventh, if our research is right, Miss Maitland.
Not counting the designs you and your sister created when you were partnered in Leading Edge.
This belt is going to have to be reworked, Gina.
Okay. I think our readers would really like to know why you and your sister decided to dissolve such a successful business and go your separate ways. Differences in designing, market strategy?
Just differences, my dear.
Miss Maitland, you and Diana, could we pick up where we left off?
No, Mr. Tobin, we could not. If you wish to do a story about me, about the amazing growth of Newport Swimwear since its inception 7 years ago, I'd be delighted to cooperate. But I have no intention of discussing my sister or our relationship, if you want to call it that.
All right, Allison. This time you've gone too far.
Oh, God, how pathetic.
Your new collection looks more like an accumulation. You do so much better when you try to copy me.
How nice of you to come all this way to tell me that, Diana.
Miss Seaver,
I saw you on that poisonous talk show. Your last public appearance. If my lawyer has anything to say about it, this time I am suing you for slander.
Slander? Darling, I barely remember mentioning your name.
You practically accused me of stealing your wretched designs.
ladies.
I only told the truth.
Ladies.
You have never done an original thing in your life, and the only good thing you ever had, you stole from me.
Unkind. And untrue, of course. You would not recognize the truth if it leaped up to bite you on your cellulite. It is you who have copied my designs, and you know it.
What I know, and you do not, dear heart, is that these people are reporters from Glitter magazine. And I'm afraid we're both on the verge of being less attractive than we would like.
Miss Seaver,
I'm sure we can all look forward to reading a fair and a balanced interview.
That should clear up any lingering doubts as to the demise of our partnership. It's always so much more effective to let Diana speak for herself.
Oh, Miss Maitland, I've got to be going. Earl will finish the interview if you don't mind. See you back at the office. Wait. Terry Randolph, Miss Seaver. I want you to know the piece we're doing is about both of you.
Oh, really?
Really, we phoned your office this morning for an appointment. We also want to know your side of the dispute.
Not dispute, Miss Randolph. Artistic differences. I have taste. She does not. That's all there is to say on the subject.
Well, that's too bad because our editor wanted a feature story to go with the cover.
Your swimwear cover.
I mean, you should see the file I have on his overseas cables. I mean, his datelines read like a world atlas.
Whose?
Bo Brundage, she's coming in tonight for a couple of weeks to cover the economic summit.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Shelley, we're talking about a man who's won 3 Pulitzer Prizes, is on a first-name basis with presidents, kings, dictators.
I mean, the man's a giant.
Well, don't look now, but he just stepped off the beanstalk. Do you believe him? Hello, Bo.
Shelby. Been a long time.
5 pollution-free years.
Well, I guess neither one of us has changed.
Welcome back.
Hey, how are you?
Frankly, I'm a bit embarrassed. There's a lot of remodeling going on. We won't have an office for you till next week.
Well, I'll camp right here.
Oh, that won't be necessary. We'll put you in with one of the other editors. Shelley, would you mind sharing your office with Mr. Brundage for a few days?
Me? Mind? No, I wouldn't mind at all, Mr. Hardwick.
There we are.
You better eat something. You know, we may be at this a while.
I just can't stop my mind from thinking about that nightclub. My little girl in a place like that.
How old is she now, Mr. Hanson? About 18?
Yeah, but she's got no experience. Not in the ways of the world. Not in places like this. I just wanted to try to keep her away from this kind of thing.
Kate, that's one of the girls who was with Christy in that picture that was taken at the club. I'll be right back.
She was always a rebellious child. You know, she was good and hard-working, but defiant.
Hey, excuse me. You sing Roxanne?
Which Roxanne?
Christy's friend, you know? I got something for her, and...
They're probably getting ready for the party tonight.
Right, she mentioned a party somewhere in Bel Air. What was it, Stone Canyon or...
Bellagio.
Bellagio, yeah. You know where I could find her now? Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Excuse me a minute. Did you get anything?
Yeah, maybe. There's a party up in Bel Air tonight. Roxanne and Christy are supposed to be there.
Sounds like our next move. Think you can find the house?
Yeah, come on.
I'm sorry. I thought you were Christy.
What will I do?
Sorry.
I can show you a good time. I like older men. I can do anything she can, only better. What's so special about this Christy? Adorable.
She could be a model herself.
Well, if your magazine doesn't have the most smashing cover in its history, it won't be our fault, will it, Mara?
I hope they use the blue one with the sparkles. It's really rad.
Rad indeed.
Well, we certainly have all the pictures we need, Diana. What we're missing is a frame to put them in.
When your sister and you split up, your company was grossing over $18 million a year. Now, you couldn't have built such a successful operation strictly on mutual dislike. What happened?
As I said, the pressures in this business are enormous.
Diana, darling.
Get ready to duck.
We meet again. I feel so fortunate.
Allison, dear, I am so sorry. You're too late. Mr. Richland already has his cover.
Well, perhaps we should let glitter be the judge of that, hmm?
Aunt Allison?
I believe Mr. Richland is expecting me.
Mommy, why does Aunt Allison hate me so much?
Oh, darling, she doesn't hate you. She's just not a very demonstrative person, that's all.
Well, I was a break, you know, and the bouncer. Now, would you like to explain that to me?
You're not the only one with connections, you know.
If my daughter's here with these
Mr. Hanson, we are on private property here. Do you understand? We're not here to pass judgments or cause trouble. We're here to find Christy. Okay? Come on. If he finds her, she's not going to be the same girl he remembers. He's not going to like what he sees.
He's her father. He's entitled to see her just the way she is.
Well, if I were him, I'd stick with my memories.
Come with me, honey. I'll make it 100.
That's Christy. Oh, my God, she is a hooker. Christy!
Wait, Sam! Let him straighten it out himself.
I've come to take you home where you belong.
Wait, let me explain.
Explain? There are no words to explain this pit of filth and why you're here.
There's more to it than that.
No, it's all here, what you've become.
Who is this creep, Christy? Please, Roxanne, would you let me handle this? Now, Daddy, if you just listen to me.
Come on, fella, ease up. Come on.
You're on a chase! Come on, Roxanne.
Christy!
Settle down, pal. You're not going anywhere. It's all right. It's all right. I got it. Please. Mr. Hanson. All right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay.
I gotta find Christy.
I'm afraid she's gone.
As a friend, I decided to be honest, and I told him he had no choice.
You mean you actually advised President Kennedy on how to handle the Cuban Missile Crisis?
I was there, he asked.
Oh, my God. Bo, what have you done to my beautiful little office?
Done? Done what?
Don't tell me you don't see it.
See what?
I had to get back to work. Bye, Shirley.
I'm never going to get this cleaned up.
Look, it's just a couple of papers, just a couple of cigar butts. Aren't you overreacting?
No, I am not, Bo. You have gone through my office like you go through life, like some kind of tornado, leaving everybody else to pick up the pieces. You want to know why I broke it up? Well, you're looking at the reason.
Shirley, you know, guys like me, we live for the moment. I mean, by the time the chips fall where they may, I've got a connecting flight for the next assignment. That's the name of the game.
I want roots, and you want plain schedules.
But you were always so reticent.
That's not true. I love those moments we grabbed.
They were great, weren't they? We were like a couple of teenagers.
I know. You were all hands.
Do you remember London?
Remember Montreal?
The one that stays in my mind is Lisbon. What was that, a baggage handler strike?
I'm blushing.
Oh, Shelley, you're still an attractive woman.
No. Stop right where you are.
We've got all those memories, and we have 2 more weeks to make new ones. It'd be a shame to waste them, wouldn't it?
Are you forgetting the only other time we had 2 weeks together was 5 years ago?
No, I'm not. That was a disaster, but that was then.
Can't you see nothing's changed? Face it, Bo. You and I cannot exist in the same space for more than 24 hours at a time.
Well, I guess you're right. However, on the bright side, I'll be out of your hair in no time.
Do you think there's any chance we can find her again?
Oh, of course there is. It just might be a little harder now.
In the meantime, I gotta get some sleep. I'm sure you do, too. Get some rest. Mr. Hanson, if we do find Christy and she's living your worst nightmare, what are you gonna do?
I'll take her home, we'll spend some time together, and she'll forget about all this.
And if she won't go?
She'll come. She's my daughter. And that means something. I know the girl you saw tonight may not appear to be the wholesome Wisconsin farm girl, but that was not my Christy. Something happened to her out here.
You know, I have the feeling that something happened to her before she came here. Maybe the reason why she left Wisconsin.
The story I have, A Petty Feud, isn't very flattering for either Allison or Diana. And it's not the story I want to write. I came here hoping you would put me on the right track.
You've seen them in action.
In our office. With your daughter caught in the crossfire. And that's what concerns me the most. Allison wouldn't even acknowledge Mara's presence.
I wish I could help you, Miss Randolph. But the truth is, I don't understand it myself. In 10 years of marriage, it's the only thing Diana's ever kept strictly to herself.
But they were partners. It couldn't have always been like this.
When I met Diana, the two of them were practically inseparable. Went everywhere together, started the swimwear company. We were so close. Then it all changed.
What happened?
I don't know. But it started the day Diana and I found out we were going to have a child. She went over to share the good news with Allison. I knew it wouldn't be easy.
Why not?
Allison's doctor had told her she could never have children. She took the news pretty hard. She and Bob always wanted a family.
So you think this 7-year feud is because of Allison's jealousy? Doesn't make sense. They're medical procedures.
Not for Allison and Bob. He died that night in a car crash.
It just doesn't make sense. The sister's company was practically a money machine. They couldn't have split over business.
Allison is way too worldly and far too intelligent a woman to hold a grudge against a 7-year-old child. So that's certainly not it.
Well, like my dad used to say, it takes two. Diana's got to be equally involved in this no matter what her husband thinks. We must be missing something.
I'll go run down the report on Bob Maitland's accident and see if I can find anything there.
In the meantime, maybe I'll have another go at Diana, see if I can bluff something out of her.
Girl, we aren't getting too far away from our assignment, are we? Rattling skeletons in closets that just don't have to do with the glitter swimsuit issue?
Maybe. But every time I think of that little girl crying, I want to know why.
How's it going with the new roommate show?
I reek of beer and cheap cigars. It's like working at a singles bar, but without the fringe benefits. I stay away as much as I can.
Well, Bo's a great journalist. You just have to make allowances.
Cleaning allowances.
Well, we all have to make sacrifices for our art. Tough.
Oh, what happened?
Shelley, I've decided to shape up.
What? This is beautiful. Now, isn't this a better place to work?
Yes. All that time living out of suitcases and the hotel maid cleaning up after me. You've opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Oh, Bo.
Can we continue this later? I mean, I have a deadline to meet.
Oh, sure, Bo. I've got a lot of research to do. But I'll be back in a couple of hours.
Good. And then we'll go out into town.
Fantastic. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say hi to your mom, okay? Bye.
Any more thoughts on trying to find Christy Hansen?
Okay. You know, I've been there. Beautiful young girl who comes to Hollywood, takes to the streets. I don't like the ending. She's not even my daughter. I'm afraid Hansen's in for a pretty rough ride.
So what do? We let him sit in that motel room until he decides to give up and go home?
I don't know. Hey, look, you saw what happened last night, didn't you? That wasn't even an A party. What do you want to give the guy more bad memories to take back to Wisconsin for?
Hey, that isn't our choice to make, Sam.
Yeah, Dylan. Okay, thanks. It's not our choice now. Hansen's here.
Try to be a little understanding, will you?
I couldn't stand waiting around that motel any longer. Look, I figure we can save time if we start out again together from here.
Mr. Hansen, we're not going to do this together anymore. Look, our only lead is Roxanne, and we're going to be looking for her on the strip. She sees you and we're dead. She's going to run.
You're trying to tell me that I can't help find my own daughter?
You weren't much help last night, were you?
Sam's right about that.
Okay. But after 8 months of waiting and worrying...
I understand. I promise you, Mr. Hansen, we'll do the best we can.
Try not to worry so much. Well, you're not as unconcerned as you act, Sam Dillon.
Hey, I like a happy ending as much as the next guy. It's just that I don't expect one here.
Maybe you'll be surprised.
If I had a setup like this, I'd be tempted to play hooky, too.
I'm afraid you've discovered the secret of Sunland Swimwear's success. My one day at home, and I spend it poring over the books, a penny at a time.
Oh, that's not the only secret that's out, Diana. We're on to what happened between you and Allison.
That's impossible. I mean, what is there to know? We both wanted greener pastures, that's all, so?
Now, there's more to it than that. And unfortunately, Mara's caught in the middle. My partner talked to your husband at his office today. He knows why Allison's husband was out driving at 2 in the morning the night of his accident. And he knows what happened between you and Allison.
No. That's impossible. He would never have forgiven me.
Just like your sister never forgave you? Or her husband?
So you do know?
I do now. I'm sorry, but I had to be sure. And I didn't ask for glitter. I asked for Mara.
It just happened once. It was when Allison and I worked together. She handled the fabric buying, and she oversaw the manufacturing of the suits, so she was off to Hong Kong sometimes. For months at a stretch. My husband was district manager for his company then, always on the road.
So, you and Bob were alone?
And we were very lonely. And one night, we were barbecuing steaks right here. And suddenly, we were both so lonely. And I thought, what harm?
And a couple of months later, your doctor announced you were pregnant with Mara.
It would have been wrong to cancel the baby's life just because Bob and I made a mistake. Oh, and Marshall was so thrilled. He naturally assumed the baby was his. And I didn't want to spoil his happiness.
Then instead of telling Allison you were pregnant, you told her husband.
He felt it was so wrong. He felt so guilty. He went to Allison and he told her everything. Well, he felt betrayed by both of us. And she would not listen. She wouldn't try to understand how accidental it all really was. Just two lonely people. She drove off in her car.
And while Bob was out looking for her, he was hit by a drunk driver.
At this point, Roxanne's our only shot at finding Christy.
Really think you're going to be able to find her? Maybe it's too early.
More like too late for most of these kids. Just sit tight, wait. Roxanne will be along. They stake out their own areas, you know, so that their regulars can find them. My friend on the vice squad ran this down for me. There she is. Hey, Roxanne, you got a minute?
Maybe. What could you do in a minute?
Actually, I'm looking for Christy Hansen. Can you tell me where I can find her?
I saw you at the party.
Yeah.
You were with the guy that started all the trouble.
Well, the guy that started all the trouble happens to be her father. And he's going to keep causing trouble till he finds her.
Not for me. I have friends, and so has Christy. And we all look out for each other.
One big happy family, huh?
Yeah. Maybe better than a family. We don't do things that lots of families do. Like beat each other up or make big promises and then sneak away.
It's her father, you know? He may be a lot of things that you don't like, but he loves her.
They have to have a chance at understanding each other. Wouldn't you want that if your mother and father came here looking for you?
Leave them out of this.
Roxanne.
It's on Van Dorn below 3rd. You can't miss it. One of those big old houses.
Well, it's not far from here.
Just ask any of the girls. They all know Christy. Well, so much for happy endings. Let's get it over with.
happened?
What happened? Nothing happened. I couldn't cut it. Cold turkey, no deli, no cigar. I couldn't write a sentence that a first-year journalism student wouldn't laugh at. It's no good, Shelley.
But you didn't give it a fair chance.
In this business, who's got time for a fair chance? Meeting your deadlines with your best stuff is where it's at.
Well, I guess I know where we're at.
Shirley, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I wanted this to work for us, too. Maybe I'm too old for a change. To try to be somebody that you're not.
Well, if it's not supposed to be.
Listen.
Oh, Bo, there you are.
Oh, hello, Charlie.
I hate to pull this on you on such short notice, but the wire service has just reported a big shakeup in the Politburo. I'd like you to cover it firsthand. Give it your inimitable analysis.
Sure thing, Charlie.
Great. I had Alan make reservations for you. You're booked on this flight, LAX to Paris. And stop by my office on the way out, okay?
You got it. I just finished this article. I'm going to take you for a drink, for old time's sake, and then I'm going to buy you the best steak in town.
I don't think so, Bo.
Well, I didn't think you think so.
I rushed right over. What news was so important that it could not be communicated over the telephone? Something about your cover, I trust? If this is your idea of a joke, I am not amused.
It's no joke, Allison. We wanted you both here to meet on neutral territory.
There is no point in meeting. Diana and I have nothing to say that cannot be communicated by our lawyers.
We know this is none of our business, and we can guarantee this won't be part of our story, but like it or not, we are involved, and we want to help if we can.
You can't hurt each other any more than you already have. But there's someone else to consider. Your daughter.
For a reporter, you're not very good with facts. Mara is Diana's daughter.
And your husband's. We know.
Told them.
No, we figured it out, some of it. What we can't figure out is why you take your anger out on a 7-year-old girl.
I would have thought that that is obvious. My own sister. I loved him. And he loved you.
Not according to him. You would never let Diana share this letter your husband wrote her. He told her some things I thought you should hear. Dear Diana, please forgive me for what happened last night. What we did out of loneliness, not out of love. I'm not sure I can tell Allison what happened between us, but I know it will never happen again. I love her with all my heart, and I can't bear the thought that I might lose her.
Don't you see? He loved you. He loved only you.
You had his child.
His child. Something to cherish, not hate.
I've tried. But it hurts too much. I can never, ever forgive her.
The question is, can you forgive yourself? We have the feeling that Diana isn't the only one that feels guilty.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I reach over, expecting to find him there in bed beside me. And then I remember. I wonder what would have happened if I had just listened to him that night, if I had just tried to understand what he wanted to. If we hadn't argued, if I hadn't run away, would there have been an accident? Would I... Oh, would he still be here with me now? Oh, Allison. Oh, please, dear. Don't. Diane, I'm sorry. I've been so wrong for such a long time. I hid behind you. I made you guilty for me. Can you ever forgive me, please?
Okay, slow down. It should be just along in here somewhere. I guess this is it.
Yeah, let's hope. Look at the girls, Sam. They're so young. How are we going to tell her father?
Hi. Hello.
Hi, looking for someone?
Yeah, actually, we're looking for Christy Hansen. Do you think you could find her for us?
Sure. Come on in, I'll get her for you.
Guess I'm more naive than I thought, Sam. Thought places like this were more... I'm shocked.
Maybe you shouldn't be. Somehow this doesn't look, Hi.
You were at the party last night.
Yeah.
My father.
Yes, I'm Kate Simpson.
And I'm Sam Dillon. We're from Glitter Magazine.
Is he with you?
No, he's not.
Is he all right?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't hurt in the fight, but he's not all right. Christy, he's not going to give up until he finds you.
I know. He's always been a stubborn man. Never listened once his mind was made up.
Can you blame him? You know, he hasn't heard from you in 8 months, and now the first time he sees you, it's at a party like that.
Would you like to sit down? See, I was at that party last night, trying to bring one of the girls here home. She'd been here for a few days, and things seemed fine. And just when we thought she was on the right track, she hit the streets again.
The right track.
Oh, boy, Christy. Your father's not the only one who jumps to conclusions.
That's okay. And I just wish he'd listen to me, because I have a lot I'd like to tell him. I'm really proud of what I'm doing here, of what I am. If he could just listen to me, I know he would be too.
Hold it. So this is your home now, huh?
Mr. Hansen.
Get your hands off him.
Just...
all the love and all the years, and you end up here in this...
Mr. Hansen, it's not what you think.
Look, you've been telling me that ever since I got here, that nothing is what I thought it was. Well, there's no doubt about what kind of place this is.
Daddy, please!
There's no doubt about what you are.
Just stop it, Hansen. Right there! You've been wrong enough for one day.
Christy's been helping kids that didn't have the love and upbringing that she had.
This place is it's a sort of refuge for kids that don't have any other place to go.
These are my friends, Daddy. And I'm proud of what I'm doing here. I'm making a difference. I'm helping girls my age get their lives together. Get off the streets. You know what it's like to be 17 and broke in L.A.? Well, there's a lot of ways you can go. I found this halfway house before I got into any trouble. And I brought a lot of kids here.
It's just that I've been so worried about you. You didn't call. You could have written.
You should have figured out where I was. You'd have traced the call, checked the postmark, something, and you'd have brought me home. I didn't want that. You've always told me what to do, what to say. You're suffocating me. I needed to be on my own.
Well, maybe you're right. I mean, look how far I got on a photograph in a magazine. Thanks to these nice folks. They put up with a lot. I guess you have to. I've been a fool, Christy. A stubborn fool. Just like your mama always said.
No, you haven't, Daddy. You taught me how to be strong and stubborn. Otherwise, I might not have ended up here. I wanted to write to you. I've got a whole shoebox full of letters upstairs I was afraid to mail. I just got to tell you about what I'm doing here, because you'd be real proud. It's the kind of thing we Hansons do.
I am proud of you, Christy girl. I love you very much, and I'm sorry if I made you feel bad.
I got a story to write.
We thought maybe these three would be suitable. Yeah, fine. Oh, this Hanson story is a fine piece. And its conclusion is not so much a happy ending as a new beginning for Christy and her father.
Good. Glad you like it.
Yeah, the story has heart, personal drama. Of course, we're going to publish it, but I don't think it's a cover story. Now, the battling swimsuit sisters, on the other hand, there's conflict and sex appeal. And with the surprise twist that Allison and Diane are going back into business together after years of feuding. It's too bad you could never get to the bottom of those rumors.
Couldn't have been too much to them, Mr. Hardwick, or Diana and Allison wouldn't have gotten back together.
We did our best, sir. Believe me.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes? Oh, send him in, please.
Hello, everyone.
The cover for Glitter's swimsuit issue. Clive.
Voila.
Oh, well, it looks like a new beginning for Allison and Diana, too.
With Mara modeling their new line for the younger woman.
Not quite what I expected, sir, but I like it.
I like it very much.
We'll be back in a moment.
I can't call what you wrote about me libel. I wrote the facts. The facts as I saw them.
Next on Glitter.
Well, I have a feeling, too, that any reporter who isn't objective enough to admit he was wrong has no business covering this story.
The magazine I work for wants to do some pictures on you.
I don't want to get involved in no weirdo deal.
Or is it that you're ashamed of your body?
Look, Miss Millett, about the interview.
It's your move, Mr. Black.